From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
A Montana man who was mauled by a grizzly bear that bit off the front of his lower jaw is ready to return home after weeks in the hospital. We're going to hear from his daughter right off the top.
I'm Megan Thompson and I'm here in Uptown Butte, and coming right up I'm going to introduce you to some business owners and some residents who are frustrated that streetlights in their area aren't working.
I'm Jonathan Andarian in Missoula, where a state commission tackling the challenges in Montana's behavioral health system is laying out some of the initial ideas for possible initiatives.
Montana's general hunting season opens this weekend. I'm Chet Lehman. Coming up this week, we'll talk to a game warden about some safety tips we need to follow and ways you can help as a hunter to make sure people in the field are doing the right thing.
Always a good thing to do the right thing, right, Matt?
That's it.
That's it. All right, 6:31 on this Monday edition of Montana This Morning. Jay McDonald and Matt Elwell with you. Matt, how was your weekend?
It was fabulous. So much going on this weekend.
It was fun. I mean, the solar eclipse. You had the Gateway Gallop that went on Saturday.
That's right. A lot of folks, my squad, my kids, soccer and all kinds of stuff. You just hold your breath and keep going forward.
Go
right?
team. Let's do it.
Yeah, beautiful weekend. We're starting out the week on a warm side overall. The early morning temperature is a little more crisp. A lot of 30s for us this morning. Watching the sun get ready to head over the horizon. Temperatures expected to be into the low 70s for the afternoon today. A shift in our weather pattern, cooler and windy as we head into the later part of the week. We're going to talk about the timing and impacts in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Now some housekeeping right off the top. The Montana Department of Agriculture confirmed the presence of avian influenza in Glacier County poultry flock. Now that is being tested for the disease in a second flock in the Flathead County area. Now, this version of the virus is spreading from migrating waterfowl in the spring and summer. It is highly contagious and can kill large numbers of domestic poultry and fowl. Flocks confirmed to have the virus have to be quarantined until they are confirmed to be disease-free or destroyed. The risk to people generally considered low, but health experts say people should wear gloves and wash hands thoroughly when handling dead birds. According to the Department of Agriculture, there have been 18 affected Montana flocks linked to the national outbreak that started last year. Now our top story this half hour, a Montana man who was mauled by a grizzly bear that bit off the front of his lower jaw is ready to return home after 5 weeks in a Utah hospital. Norlander was attacked by a grizzly bear on September 8th south of Big Sky after joining two people to look for a deer that they had shot and wounded. The bear came upon him so quickly he did not have time to deploy his bear spray and his gun misfired. That's according to the report at the time. Now during a news conference, Norlander's daughter spoke on his behalf, saying he's looking forward to reuniting to his Yorkshire Terrier Sully, returning to the outdoors, and being able to attend the rivalry football game next month between the Montana Grizzlies and his beloved Montana State Bobcats, and of course, enjoy his favorite sweet treat.
I'd like to open up this press conference with a huge thank you. Thank you for all of the support, all of the love, all of the prayers. The kindness shown by friends and strangers alike has been overwhelming. I truly feel blessed to be surrounded by such amazing people. I also want to say that first root beer float is going to taste so amazing.
And the family is hoping that he'll be able to return home today. Now, some Butte residents and business owners are feeling left in the dark because street lights across town are not working. MTN's Megan Thompson has the story.
Well, it's that time of year again in southwest Montana where the days are getting a little shorter, and so it's to be expected that we'll be experiencing more darkness. But for some Butte residents and business owners, they feel like they've been left in the dark because some streetlights aren't working.
So I actually just noticed the streetlights being off recently, and now that it is becoming darker earlier, it's extra noticeable for me and my employees and all of our customers.
John Wick owns 5518 Designs located in Uptown Butte, where he says lights along 2 blocks of Main Street have been out for at least a month. But it's not the only spot in town where citizens are concerned about a lack of light.
Several years ago, I noticed that the street light across the street from my mom's house has been flickering and it's on and off a lot at night. And I was a little bit concerned about the safety because it's so dark.
Sandra Honeychurch's mother lives on Cobbin Street, where 3 streetlights in a row sit dark.
It would come on and then it would go off and it'd be off forever. And so I called and they fixed it a couple years later. And as soon as they fixed it, this one down here started doing it. And I called them again and nothing.
Jim and Sandra aren't the only ones concerned with the lighting issues. Dozens of residents have taken to social media to complain or even just to ask what to do. And in some cases, the issues were resolved. A stretch of Harrison Avenue sat dark for months before being illuminated recently. But some corners remain dark, causing concern for residents and business owners alike.
How are you going to see a person walking across the street or a dog or an elderly person?
For business owner John Wick, concern for safety is an issue, but he also worries about making Uptown Butte feel comfortable for visitors and locals.
Streetlights contribute to the vibrancy of Uptown and how we welcome visitors and locals to our Uptown Business District.
A call for comment from Northwestern Energy and the Montana Department of Transportation was not returned, but officials from Butte Silver Bow said issues with streetlights can be reported to Northwestern Energy. In Butte, Megan Thompson, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Megan. Now in some statewide headlines, a state commission tasked with planning for the future of Montana's behavioral health system is moving forward with some early proposals for initiatives addressing service backlogs. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Amberian has a look at the latest steps the commission is taking.
In a meeting Friday at the University of Montana, the Behavioral Health System for Future Generations Commission laid out initial proposals for 2 initiatives that they believe could have a near-term impact on behavioral health services in the state.
I'm really excited that we're finally at the point where we can put some money and some initiatives into the communities where there is such a lack.
The commission agreed to advance 2 proposals Friday. One would direct millions of dollars in one-time grants for residential care facilities, serving people with mental health needs or developmental disabilities. The money could help repair existing facilities and open or reopen existing homes.
We need skin in the game as well, and so I greatly respect the fact that that is not a full payment, not completely put upon the taxpayers to pull that together. It does give us capacity and additional capital.
The other proposed initiative would provide funding for service providers in communities to do mental health evaluations of people going through the court system. Leaders say that's intended to clear a backlog of evaluations that currently have to be done at the Montana State Hospital's forensic facility in Galen. The proposals are still in their early stages, and other legislative committees will be giving feedback in the coming months. This commission is tasked with putting together a report next year with longer-term recommendations, but they're also planning more of these near-term ideas as they study specific aspects of the behavioral health system.
They reflect common sense, actionable ideas to address largely known worsening problems throughout Montana's BH&DD systems.
Also during Friday's meeting, the commission held a series of panel discussions with stakeholders in the state's crisis system. The model leaders have been highlighting is called Crisis Now, focused on making sure people in these situations have someone to call, someone to respond, and somewhere to go. Commission leaders said it's important for them to get out and around the state to hear from all corners of Montana. Their next meeting is scheduled for December 1st in Kalispell. In Missoula, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Now, thousands of people will be heading out bright and early on Saturday morning looking to fill a freezer or to hang a trophy on a wall. Now, most of those hunters will do everything the correct and the legal way. And this week in Fish and Wildlife, MTN's Chet Lehman talks with a game warden about how we can all help be ethical hunters.
General hunting season begins on Saturday, and that means thousands of us will be taking to the field in search of game. FWP wardens want each of us to remember that and follow some simple rules. Rule number 1, safe gun handling. Every moment you have it with you.
All those things are real important. It's going to keep you safe, other hunters you're hunting with, other hunters you may not know are out in the field, people around the area, and then also animals you don't intend to shoot. So every once in a while we do run into situations where someone's shooting at maybe a cow elk that they have the right licenses for, but they don't see the bull behind it, or vice versa. And so just taking that extra moment to slow down, making sure you're having good weapon safety and being careful.
Captain Pankratz also says knowing and understanding the regulations for where you are hunting, essential.
Montana's a big state, so there's diverse hunting laws. You may be able to shoot a mule deer buck in this area, but not in the next drainage over. So paying attention to regulations, land ownership, all those things are really key.
In Montana, you can hunt some form of game animal 11 months out of the year. Poaching an animal is a crime. And if Pankratz and his team can't be there to catch a poacher, he's hoping an ethical hunter will help him make that happen.
You know, when you think about it, wildlife is owned by the people. It's not owned by Fish, Wildlife and Parks. It's not owned by the government. It's owned by every citizen that lives in this great state of Montana. And so when you're calling and reporting a poaching or a wildlife crime, you're protecting something that you own that should be real important to you, whether you're a hunter or not.
It's this simple. Call 1-800-TIP-MONT. Be safe, good luck, and remember what a privilege it is you have here in Montana. This week, gearing up for the big hunt, Chet Lehman, MTN News.
All right, thank you very much, Chet. Now, we're going to take a short break here in Montana this morning, but when we come back, I feel like most people are always looking for the next thing to do around the house, either a simple cleaning or a complete remodel of their home. But what services do you really need, and what maybe can be left for another project?
I'm John Matteries. From gadgets you don't need to services you could really live without. We'll show you some of the biggest money wasters when it comes to things in your home. That story coming up.